Okay, today we are going to learn about Avo Meter. So Avo Meter is the abbreviations of A, which is ammeter, V is voltmeter, and O as ohmeter. Okay, so these three tools we are going to discuss these three tools. To measure ammeter is to measure current, voltmeter to measure voltage, and ohmeter is to measure resistance. Okay, this is to measure for current, and this is for voltage, and this is for resistance. Okay, so the first that we are going to discuss is how to measure current in a circuit. Okay, so the first that we will investigate here is ammeter. Okay, so the ammeter is the tool or the instrument to measure current in a circuit. Okay, so if we have a circuit, let's say this one is a resistance or light bulb. Okay, it consists of, let's say, two light bulb here connected in series, for example. Okay, so this is the symbol of voltage. Okay, so the first video is having only one, it called cell. But if there more than one cell, it is called battery. Okay, so this is E or V. Okay, R1, so R1, resistance 1, resistance 2. Okay, so we are going to measure the current in this circuit. The first is we must connect the ammeter in series to the light bulb. Okay, in series. So this must be cut, and then we insert the ammeter in here. Okay, so the current that flows from the high potential difference, which is positive, is going to the ammeter. Okay, and then going to the resistance 1, going to the resistance 2, and then back again to the negative 1. Okay, so the current will flows here. There will be the deviations of the needle of the ammeter when the current flows through the ammeter. So one thing that we are going to know, that we have to know, is that the instrument is connected in series to the circuit. So for ammeter to measure current, it has to be connected in series to the light bulb. Okay, so how if the instrument is connected in parallel? Let's say this is the resistance 1 and this is resistance 2. Okay, it is connected in parallel. So you are asked how to measure current. Okay, in this point you can cut this branch and then put the ammeter between, let's say, ammeter 1. Then you can get the result, the current of I1, and also you can insert ammeter in here, A2, to measure the current that flows, let's say I2, and also you can also find the current in here. Let's say this one is A3. Okay, the current that flows through A3. Okay, so based on the first Kirchhoff law, that will be the current I3 in here is equal to I1 plus I2. Okay, this is about current. Okay, let's say here, let's back to the first picture. If you put the current, if you put the ammeter in here, in this point, let's say this one is A2, let's say this one is A1. So what is the relationship between A1, A2, and A3? Ammeter 1, ammeter 2, and ammeter 3, what is the reading? So I tell you that the reading will be the same because of the same path of the current that flows to the circuit, to the same circuit. Okay, so we can conclude that the reading in A1, which is I1, the reading in A2, which is I2, the reading in A3, which is I3, that will be I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3. Okay, so this is about ammeter. It's connected in parallel and series circuit. Now we're back to the second. The second is voltmeter. The voltmeter is used to measure voltage. Okay, so for example, the voltmeter is connected. The keyword is connected in parallel to the light bulb. For example, okay, light bulb is one example that I give to you for the simple example. Okay, the first circuit is, let's say, the first circuit is series circuit. Light bulb 1, light bulb 2, and then this is the symbol of voltage. Okay, and then let's say R1 and R2, it flows. So the current is flowing to R1 and R2, and then back again from the high potential difference to the low potential difference. Okay, so now you are asked where we should put the voltmeter in this circuit. One thing you should know that when you are going to connect the voltmeter in this circuit, you should connect the voltmeter in parallel to the circuit, or in parallel to the instrument, to the tools that you are going to measure. Okay, so in parallel means it is in front of the light bulb. Okay, so if the voltmeter in here, that must be connected here between the resistance one. Okay, let's say V1. If you want to measure the voltage in point A and point B, then you can connect the voltmeter in this, like this picture. If you want to connect the voltmeter point C to point D, you are going to measure the voltage between point C and point D, you can connect the voltmeter such as way. Okay, so I tell you that the voltmeter V1 and the voltmeter V2 will have different value if the resistance 1 is not the same with resistance 2. Okay, but in overall, that the conclusion is that V1 plus V2 is equal to the total voltage IE. Okay, so the second is that the voltmeter is connected to the parallel circuit. Okay, let's say the picture is like this. Let's say this one is R1, R2, and E. It's the same. So how to connect the voltmeter such this way? Okay, if you are going to measure the voltage in R1, you can connect it in parallel to the R1. Okay, so you are going to measure like this. You have to put the voltmeter 1 in this point. Let's say this one AB, point A and point B, point A and point B, and then point C and point D, wherever you like, maybe here or here, it depends on you. Or maybe the A in point here, in here, it can be like that. Okay, so you can connect the voltmeter in this point like V2. So I tell you that V1 is equal to the V2 is equal to the E. Okay? But the current will be different. Okay? As I have told you before, that the current, the total number of the current, input current, will be the same with the total number of output current. Okay? Input current is equal to the sum of the output current. Okay? I think this explanation will help us to understand about ammeter and voltmeter. The last one is the ohmeter. The ohmeter. The ohmeter is used to measure resistance in a circuit. Okay, so how to measure the resistance in a circuit? It is exactly like how to measure the voltage, like voltmeter. Okay, so I give one example how to put the ohmeter in a circuit. If I have light bulb like this, okay, let's say one resistance, it is the same to the other circuit like parallel and series. Let's say this R1 and E of voltage. So we don't know the resistance of this light bulb. We don't know the resistance of this light bulb, and then we put the ohmeter between them, and then this will work. Okay, the ohmeter will show you the number of the resistance when you switch the selector switch of the ohmeter to the ohms part, and then the needle will move because of the resistance that is inside of the light bulb. Okay, thank you. I think this explanation will help us to understand about Avo meter. Later we will discuss again deeply about another instrument in electricity and electromagnetic field. Thank you for your attention. Cheerio.